Okay, welcome back to Ing for Rus, one day at a time. Today is day 3. We're going to talk about some numbers. We're going to compare these numbers. On the left, you'll see the teens. On the right, some tens. And actually, even native speakers sometimes have trouble understanding each other when we say these numbers. So we're going to talk about the teens versus the tens. That's VS, versus, protiv. Yeah. I think one thing that'll help is let's decide what a teenager is. So in English, a teenager is a person from age 13 to 19. That's why teenager, right? Not 11, not 12. I think it might be a little bit different in Russian. So in English, a teenager, 13 to 19. And imagine teenagers think they're the center of the world, right? The center of the universe, the most important thing. Maybe that's not true, but just imagine that for the sake of learning how to pronounce these numbers. So these are 2-syllable numbers, right? 2 slog, right? So what we want to do is we want to stress the teen. I'm a teenager, right? So 13, not 13, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, right? So this will help you to know how to tell the difference between if it's going to be 18 or 80, right? So teen, second syllable, stress. When you get to 20, there is a T, but we usually pronounce this like 20. There is a T, there is a T, but we pronounce it like 20. All right, so for the next numbers, we're going to stress the first syllable, okay? You got to be slow. Stress the first syllable and then finish kind of weak. I know this is a little older than 30 with these pictures, but just for the sake of demonstration. So 30, 40, 50. See, we're going to pronounce it like D. It's TY, but pronounce it like D. 60, 70, 80, 90. And then when we get to this number, we can say 100, we can say 100, but honestly, it sounds like 100. I have 100 things to do today, 100 things to do today. So the drid becomes a nerd, 100 things to do. Now, some of these other numbers, you need to be comfortable saying these numbers like this. Yes, it's 1,100, 2,300, that's okay. But it's also okay to say 1,100, 2,300, 3,800, 4,600, 5,400, 9,600, and all the way to 9,999, right? 99.99. But when you get to 10,000, you don't say 100, 100. But the pronunciation of the numbers like this, you should be comfortable with this, yeah? $2,300, $4,600, no problem at all. The next thing I want to talk about is this little tochka, right? So if you're reading it in numbers, you're going to read it as point. So 2.6, 4.7, 9.98, all right? So these are point. If you're reading it as a sort of web address, www dot, but when it's numbers, it's point. One more thing that I notice a lot of people say is 100%. Okay, I hear this a lot, 100%. Be sure to say percent. Percent, not procent. Percent, okay? 100%. All right, well, I hope that you found these helpful.